I've just come back from the Lake District and I feel softer, calmer, more relaxed, different to before I went. Usually when I come back home from being anywhere, I feel tense, tired, perhaps a bit angry, frustrated, a lot of negative emotion. Not necessarily to do with home, just home is a busy space with young children and a loud house. And my days are long and stressful, usually. So I'm hanging on to that positive feeling of calm while I can. And in this video, I want to share with you some of what that feels like. I also want to share with you what I've learned from the trip and what I've introduced into my life since coming back. Along with free time as well to experience these things. So that's one of the things that I've been hanging on to since I came back. I've been taking the time to come out, like now, and have a walk in my local woods in the morning. I'm off work at the moment as well, so not having that commitment right now means I can forge that time into my days to be able to do that. So I'm making the most of that opportunity while the weather's okay to get out in nature and keep that exposure going to wildlife, to being in the environment, being in the outdoors. Continuing to exercise as well, because I did a lot of steps in the Lake District. I think something like 30,000 steps a day. So way, way, way beyond what I usually would be doing. And that was really refreshing to do. So staying active as part of being in the outdoors is something that I'm hanging on to. Taking the time to slow down as well, sitting in nature, sitting at home, enjoying a quiet house, cup of tea in my hand, reading a book, enjoying that slow pace, just trying to embrace it more. Not feel guilty for not being busy or productive or feeling like I should be making more of my time by doing something constructive, something that benefits other people. What do I need? That is one of the big things I took away from the Lake District. And sometimes I just need to be in the moment. I need to slow down, feel the peace and the calm, listen to the birds, enjoy the comfort of my chair that I'm in, be present, just embrace being in the moment more. It's been really relaxing to be able to do that and use that opportunity to find those quiet moments in the day. And it's helping me feel a bit more charged, and I don't feel as angry, I don't feel as tense. That sense of guilt is far away from my mind right now, which is something I think that has plagued me for a long time. Guilt for not being a better person, for not being more helpful to others, for not doing enough with my time, for not being there for people in the way that I feel like I should, for not being better at what I do. And I think that's something that goes back perhaps a long way in my life in terms of the root cause, but I won't get into that here. But a lot of negative emotions, I think, seem to cluster around that. And so being able to push that away and feel almost serene in myself, it's a beautiful experience. And I'm trying to bottle that up as best I can. Because I know it won't last forever. And as the pace of life picks up, as more demands on me start to become part of my day to day, that feeling will drift. So, some of the things I've been doing so far to try and prolong that has been some small things like putting a wallpaper or a screensaver on my phone of one of the moments when I was in the Lake District, when I was in the clouds, because it was quite an otherworldly experience for me. And it was somewhere very remote, very quiet and peaceful. And my mind just goes there when I see that picture. So small things like that. I mean, the amount of times me, and I'm sure you as well, look at our phones during the day, it's a great place to put something like that as a kind of anchor and a positive memory point, um, to kind of keep that circling back in my mind. So that's one of the little things that I've done. It might not sound like a big deal, but it is working for me. So, and I want to hold on to that feeling. I made a point of taking lots of photos while I was in the Lake District as well, because I wanted to be able to remember the experience. And yes, I've got a memory, I can remember, but there's something more, there's something quite powerful about being able to look through images and videos to be able to revisit and feel more grounded in that experience and bringing it back to life again. Because I'm not feeling as tense and there's more of an inner calm going on at the moment, I'm embracing the moment a bit more with my children as well, and not feeling like I need to be telling them off as much, or that I want them to be a particular way or behave in a certain way. So I'm taking the time to actually sit down with them. So last night, something small and simple, we sat and watched a film together for a couple of hours, me and the three girls. And I can't actually remember the last time I did that, where I got them to sit down with me and we all sat together and we'd made pizza and we had lots of biscuits, which was a treat for them. And they really enjoyed that. And actually, I was thinking, oh, E numbers, oh, they're going to go crazy. But no, they were appreciative and they enjoyed it. And it was just a nice moment for me with the kids. And I think, had I been feeling tense or frustrated by, one of the children aggravating me, at the end of a long day, I just want to be on my own. I just want peace and quiet and space, which is perhaps understandable. But I'm then missing out on opportunities to enjoy quality time with my children as well. And so that compromise that I made there of committing to spending some time with them, and what would that look like, and how could I make this work for me and for them? I knew the biscuits would be a draw, so and a treat, and not something I'd normally do. So I thought I'll do that, and it paid off. And that wasn't a bribe or anything. It's just something that they don't normally get the opportunity to nosh away on. And so, yeah, that really worked for all of us. And I think without that, sometimes I think without that commitment from me to have those experiences, they just don't happen, because I'm chasing peace and solitude so much, because there's so little opportunity for me to normally have that in my life. But I can get positive experiences and positive memories from times with my children if I make that commitment to that as well. And this is nothing new, I know, but it's a state of mind that I've had since coming back from the Lake District, which has allowed me to see things in a different perspective. And so I'm really grateful for that. And I hope it lasts. So whatever I can do to bottle that up and apply it, keep applying it in my life, is something I want to be able to do. And I'd love to hear if you've ever taken a reset trip, days away, to reflect, to recharge yourself. And how has that affected you? What lessons did you learn? What did you take from it? How did your life improve from that? Let me know in the comments. All right, take care. See you on the next video.